up, everybody, from our AT&T 5G virtual studios? Welcome on into the Call Up. I am Susanna Collins. That is Jillian Sakovitz. So good to see you, my friend. I know you have been in Atlanta for a hot minute, and now you're back, and then you're going back again. This is like the late season madness is just upon us. But you're crushing it, girlfriend.
Oh, you're so sweet. Can I show you my new shirt?
Yes, please.
So if it had come one day earlier, I could have been Trae Young. I'm just going to preface it with that.
Okay. Oh, stop. Wait, that's amazing.
Atlanta, Georgia changed my
life.
Shout out to ATL alumni for sending me one. I love it so
That's sick.
much, for creating this shirt. So Trae Young posted this maybe like a week ago, wearing it. The iconic entering the stadium pictures.
Yes.
And then all my ATL people were like, me too. Atlanta, Georgia changed my life. So then found out where I could get myself one, and I got one.
Yes, girl.
It could have been Trae Young. Instead, I was Jill in a flannel with some cat ears from H&M.
You look fabulous. You look fabulous. I love it.
I'll save it for next year.
That is so sick. You wear it well. Guys, it's November. It's November somehow, which means that it is the postseason is literally around the corner. We are less than a week away from Decision Day, and we have such a great show in store today because we are talking to a guy who has had a incredible breakout season in 2021 for the New York Red Bulls, and that is John Tolkin. And we are going to talk to him about this push to the playoffs, this resurgence of the Red Bulls, because Jill, a couple of months ago, we were not talking about them as a playoff team.
A couple weeks ago.
I mean, it's wild.
Like, that Atlanta Red Bulls game on Wednesday, November 3rd.
Right.
Atlanta's going to have clinched. Red Bulls will be out. And now all of a sudden, the two are neck and neck.
It's crazy. So he is such one of these like young, bright stars. He just missed the mark in making the 22 under 22 presented by Body Armor. He just fell short. But he is a guy that you're going to want to keep an eye on. He changes his hair almost weekly. He always brings the style. We're just going to have such a fun conversation with him. And I'm really excited. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this, Jill.
You just so full disclosure. Yeah, Susanna was the one who kind of pumped up John Tolkin, and I'm so here for it, despite the fact that I am very much on Atlanta United side this week. But you just gave away why we ended up getting him over the line.
Yeah,
he uses his hair every week.
Exactly.
Time now for our AT&T 5G call to the field, and we are going down to the Red Bulls training grounds. Time now to bring in our Red Bulls defender, 26 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists on the season, 19-year-old John Tolkin.
John Tolkin.
Hey, John.
Heyo, how's it going?
Very good. How are you?
Pretty good myself.
You had an interesting journey to get on the call-up today, didn't you?
Yeah, my car kind of broke down, so I had to call in a friend last resort to get here on time.
Well, here's the thing. We have had many players be very late, and they don't even have an excuse. Good.
So, John, we're just going to do some quick little icebreakers to kind of get to know you a little bit, warm you up, that kind of thing. You ready to do this?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. John Tolkin, what show are you currently binge watching?
I just finished it, actually. It's You. It's trending right now. Yeah.
I haven't watched the finale yet.
That's crazy.
like I'm so disturbed. But that's a good one.
Just like you.
No,
Y-O-U.
Yeah, Y-O-U.
Real creepy. Real creepy.
Yeah, it's a messed up show.
Woo!
John Tolkin, when was the last time that you were nervous?
The last time I was nervous. I can't remember, honestly. Probably my debut, probably.
Aw, that makes sense. You don't get nervous.
To it. When was it, and who was it against?
It was against Toronto. My old coach, actually, Chris Armas. It was. I think it was back in April. But we were winning 2-0, but I was still nervous a little bit. But when I got in the field, it was good.
Oh, did Chris Armas give you some love after that game? I have a feeling he's a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
He's a good dude. All right, John, what did you do with your first big paycheck?
this is kind of a boring. I actually save all my money right now. I'm saving it all. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
I'm living at home, so I don't really have anything to spend it on.
John Tolkin, who was the soccer player that you watched as a kid and you said, I want to do that?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys will know him. He played on Everton, Leighton Baines.
Leighton Baines. Oh,
yeah.
I'm a Liverpool fan, so
I'm an Everton fan.
Yeah, I know. This just got very awkward.
Why him? Why him of all people?
I don't know. I mean, I just loved Everton, and I played left back when I was younger. So I kind of just yeah.
Leighton Baines.
Can I tell you a funny thing about Everton? So I know it as Everton, and I interviewed once Wayne Rooney ahead of a game, and he was talking. He grew up an Everton fan, aside from me, and he kept saying Everton. And I was like, what team is he?
That's funny.
Everton.
Let's turn it to you. Let's talk about you. You made your debut with the senior team earlier this season with the Red Bulls. And it's been so much fun watching you embrace the moment. You have been just one of the young guys to watch. I will tell you, I thought you were snubbed for the 22 under 22 presented by Body Armor. I thought they didn't give you enough credit. I thought you should have been higher up on that list. I'm just saying it. But John, for you, when you think about this season that you've had in 2021, what has it been like in your own words? What has this experience kind of emerging on the big stage? What's it been like for you?
Yeah, one word, maybe frantic. Honestly, there's just so many games coming so fast. You don't really have time to process everything. But for me, I try to slow things down and kind of realize what's really happening. And I try to take in everything as best I can.
Did you get that advice from someone, or is that just the way you go about it?
No, that's kind of the way I go about it. I actually really do like to take it day by day. And I think that helps me kind of realize what's happening. But at the same time, it's still going by so fast, and I haven't really captured everything, you know?
Absolutely. Well, something that kind of caught all of us on, by surprise a little bit is New York Red Bulls. One loss in 10 feels like all of a sudden you blinked.
Pretty solid.
And all of a sudden the New York Red Bulls are fighting for a playoff position.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean this with all due respect, where did that come from?
Yeah. I think people think it came out of left field, but honestly for us, we knew what we could do. It was just a matter of, getting that first win and then kind of taking that momentum from there. Obviously Gerhard, he's one of those guys who can just fire everybody up. And everybody just wants to play their best for him. So I think he plays a very big part in it. But we kind of just caught that momentum wave, and we've kind of taken it with us. So
you guys knew what this team was capable of.
Yeah.
Because kind of like what Jill said, even, a month ago, we were like, man, this could be the year that the Red Bulls don't make the postseason, which is unthinkable in MLS lore. And you mentioned your coach, Gerhard Struber. What can you tell us about him? Because this is a guy, I feel like we don't know a ton about him. What is he? You said he's a guy that the players love to play for. He's somebody that pumps you up, really positive. What else do we need to know about your head coach?
Yeah. He's a really funny coach, down to earth. I'd just say he just kind of, I don't even know. He's just a great coach, and just fires everybody up, and everybody just wants to run through a wall for him. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it really is true. And I think the guys have really embraced that, and that's part of why we're doing so well right now.
So clearly he's somebody who galvanizes the group with the New York Red Bulls, and I think kind of over the last 2 years forming a new identity since the old guard of the New York Red Bulls and the traditional, people that you associated the team with. Who's someone that kind of helps galvanize the group behind the scenes in addition to Struber, your head coach?
Yeah, I'd honestly have to say Sean Davis. With his, he's more of a leader that leads by example, on the field and stuff. And again, he's another guy, I just want to win for him. Because I want him to succeed. For me personally, it would be Sean.
Sean's a great guy.
Yeah, he really is.
What a good dude.
Yeah.
A lot of great guys on that Red Bulls roster, and I think like we talk a lot about chemistry, locker room chemistry being a thing, and you can tell that this is a team that's very close. You don't have the kind of run that you guys have had without that sort of chemistry. So I think that's really remarkable. I love that you gave him a shout out. I think another thing that we love reading about you is your ties to this club, John. I mean, like, you were a ball boy for the Red Bulls when you were a kid. You're a New Jersey native. Like, you have been a Red Bulls fan since you were a little guy. What is it like now that you've kind of like manifested this dream into a reality? This club that you used to watch as a kid, and now you're starring for. What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, I think that is part of the thing that I'll realize at the end of the season, like, dang, that actually just happened. It's pretty crazy, honestly. Like, the other day in training, I was talking to Danny Royer actually about their playoff game against Columbus when they won 3-1 in the arena. Mm-hmm. So he was like, "Oh, you were there?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was watching you. But yeah, it's just surreal to be with all these guys and like playing in the stadium now in front of my friends and my family. And then obviously I have my old club team, Ironbound. All of them always come and support me too. So everything's been amazing so far.
Do you have a memory from being a ball boy of like a player saying something really nice or like really mean to you? Because I always see the players sometimes like yelling at the ball boys because they're in the moment. I'm always like, oh, but now that might be his memory of you.
Yeah, I've had a few incidences where some guys have cursed at me to give me the ball faster and stuff like that, but it's okay. It's all in good fun,
As a sideline reporter, I see it happen all the time, and I know they're like the nicest guys, and they don't mean it. They're just in the moment, but I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, he's 12.
Exactly.
Go easy on him.
They're caught up in the moment of the game.
It must be pretty surreal for you to go up against now guys like Dax McCarty and Sasha Kleshtin, dudes that you were probably fans of when you were a kid, and now they're your counterparts. They are your colleagues. They are your opponents. What is it? What's that experience been like? I mean, do you kind of like take a moment and be like, "Hey, man, like." You still have to. Like,
so actually, when we played Nashville, Dax was the first team player I met at Red Bull when I first joined the academy. But I don't have the picture anymore, so I was gonna go up to him after the game. I don't know if he remembers me or anything, but it was pretty cool for me. But then at the same time, I was like, well, we're playing against him and we have to win, so like, it's cool, but it's not cool now. But yeah, it's definitely awesome, like seeing him in the tunnel and stuff. Guys I used to watch and grow up with. So yeah.
Have you gotten to swap jerseys with anyone in particular?
Yeah, I have with two of my friends that I played with in the academy. One of them for New England, Damian Rivera. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, and then Andreas Jasson at NYCFC.
I love watching that post game.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing to watch. Kind of who goes to who and finds who.
It's awesome. That's actually a really cool part of it too. So yeah, I have their jerseys hanging up in my room.
It's so cool. So it was Halloween, obviously, over the weekend, and we saw the Red Bulls put out this image. This is so great of a little trick-or-treater that was dressed as you.
It was adorable.
John Tolkin for Halloween. What was your reaction when you saw that? I mean, you are a costume. Like people want to be you.
Yeah, so I have a little story. It was kind of planned, but not really. So that was my old academy coach's son. And he was like, we're going to go trick-or-treating, and he wants to dress up as you. So we brought him over. He didn't know I was going to give him a jersey, so he just thought he was coming to get some candy. But I answered the door with a jersey, and he was so happy. And it was awesome. It was so cute.
Oh, my heart.
Well,
my heart.
I mean, I did the same thing today. I was like, I'm such a John Tolkin fan that I'm just going to like casually dress as him.
I know. Look at you guys are twinsies.
Twinning.
Let's talk a little bit about the Red Bulls Academy, John. You told Brian Ciaretta of American Soccer Now that when you first joined the academy, you weren't thinking about becoming a pro, but that changed once you're in the environment. What are some of the things that happened in that environment that kind of changed the course of your adulthood and what you decided to pursue in life?
Yeah, I think just kind of the day-to-day grind kind of thing. And just having those first team guys playing right next to you on the other field, and kind of just being in the moment of it all. I was like, I could actually maybe do this for a lifestyle. And it sounded pretty nice to me, just kicking the ball around instead of going to school and stuff. So for me,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, for me, that was kind of the deciding thing. And I was like, why wouldn't I want to do that? And
how old were you when you first started with the Red Bulls Academy?
14, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was kind of still like, all right, this is fun, but I didn't really think much of it. And then as I got a little bit older, I was like, all right, this is maybe a possibility. And not many kids get to do this. So why not pursue it?
Why not? And you have seized the opportunity and then some. But one of the things that we think is so cool too is that, you've still found time to be a teenager, and you went to your high school prom, which is so cool. What's that like for you when you kind of step out of being the professional soccer player and then you just go back to being John Tolkin, the 19-year-old? What was that experience like?
I love it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit interesting, like just playing a game and then going to the prom. I was like, all right, well, what the heck is going on? But yeah, it was fun to see like a lot of my classmates and just be in that environment again, kind of realize like I'm only 19 and I'm still going to prom. So yeah, obviously it was good for my girlfriend too. I didn't even want to go in the first place, to be honest. But it made her day, so it was all around a good experience.
Good
Are
boyfriend.
Are you happy you ultimately went though?
Yeah, I was happy I went. It was a lot of fun.
It's it's a milestone,
Yeah, exactly.
Like going to prom is like, you want to look back years from now and be like, no, I made time for my senior prom. You won't regret it, John.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision by me.
All right, something else you're making time for is obviously just crushing this season of yours. Like I mentioned on the start, 26 appearances, 20 starts for the New York Red Bulls, a mainstay. With their defense, I am the sideline reporter for Atlanta United, who you are playing tomorrow. So
awkward.
No. So I have to ask you, because I was in Mercedes-Benz Stadium when maybe a friend of yours, Caden Clark, scored an absolute golazo. Also was at the game the time Brendan Aronson got his first goal. There have been some U.S. youngsters who have kind of burst onto the scene, and I hate it when they've played Atlanta United. Is that something you kind of have in mind that, hey, Red Bulls have never lost to Atlanta United. Like, I am ready to just crush this. Like, how are you feeling going into this game? Because it's going to be a playoff decision maker for both sides.
Yeah, actually, I'd say Atlanta and like New York City are like the two teams that I just always want to beat, and probably Philly. Mm-hmm. Just kind of looking back at the history of everything, and like when I would watch the guys, like those are the games that you want to play in, and those are the teams that you have to beat. And yeah, it's kind of just like we have to win. We always have to beat Atlanta and New York. That's kind of what we're saying around the locker room, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it should be a huge game, and we're gonna get the win, hopefully.
Ooh! Oh man, this is good. Some stiff competition
Down
here.
goes Atlanta.
Oh boy, fighting words, and I love it. I'm here for it. I want to get your take, John, on the Hudson River Derby, okay? Because this is, you're old enough to remember when this wasn't a thing, but NYCFC entered the picture, and now suddenly this has become, one of the biggest rivalries in Major League Soccer.
Derby? Is it officially?
I call it the Hudson River.
I like Hudson River too.
Hudson River.
I grew up.
I love it.
River. Like I like.
I kind of call it the New York Derby.
The New York Derby, Hudson River Derby. More. You like the New York Derby?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Okay, all right. Well, then that's what we'll go with. But how have you kind of seen? I mean, you said like NYCFC is a team that you guys you probably circle those games on the calendar. Yeah. You're like, this is big. How have you seen that rivalry develop since, you've been watching this team, since you've been playing for the team? What are those games like for you?
Yeah, first of all, New York is always red.
Oh!
It's always going to stay red. It always will be. And I think we've shown that this season so far. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Honestly, like that one game it was 7-0. I think we beat them at their place.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah, the Red Wedding.
Ooh, I like that.
That was insane. And that's just like amazing for us, and that's just an embarrassment to them. It really is. Like,
I love this. It's
like
so
they
good.
just storm in as a New York team, and we just rolled right over them. But yeah, it's a cool rivalry. And I have friends who are NYCFC fans, so it's always nice to beat them, and I can always say something to them.
There you go. I
love this. I like this. I like that you did not hold back, John. You're just like, nope, don't like this team. New York is red. Done.
All right.
End of story.
For people listening, go look at John Tolkin's Instagram. You can follow him at
please do.
John Tolkin. Now, you have such an array of hairstyles. Dark brown, I assume your natural color.
Yes.
Mohawk right now, a little bit more of like a
It's
bleach
platinum.
blonde.
I don't even know.
It's platinum.
But John, where do you draw your hair inspiration from? And like, how often do you try to mix it up? Because looking through your Instagram, it looks like you have quite the palette.
Strong looks.
Strong looks.
Yeah, I actually don't really take it from anywhere. I'm gonna lose my hair at some point because my dad doesn't have his. So I'm just trying to do everything I can, like trying all these new styles. Honestly, I just don't really care. Like, it's my hair, it grows back, so why not try it? So yeah, that's kind of where the inspiration's from.
So it's just something you have fun with.
Yeah, I have fun with
Like,
it. Exactly.
Totally. We love it. What's next, do you
Thanks.
think? Especially
Yeah.
like,
For the,
Yeah,
especially
so-
okay,
like
yeah,
Decision
exactly.
Day. What are you going to do for Decision Day?
Yeah, so actually, like it's getting long enough to maybe bring back the mullet.
Oh,
What do you
Yeah.
think about a red mullet?
Playoff push mullet.
let's make it a thing.
Yeah, so like we'll see about that. All
right.
Maybe if we get the win tomorrow, then I'll cut it tomorrow. Maybe.
We want to feel like we had something to do with it. That's all.
We definitely do.
Well, we've talked a lot about Aaron Long and his, like, because he rocked the mohawk for a while on the show, and we found out that it was actually his mom that was sort of behind.
Like, I'm missing
that.
the mullet, and then she's like, "Okay, Mom, I'll bring it back."
Yeah. So I appreciate that you just are free thinking. You're like, no, I'm going to do whatever feels right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pull. Oh, here. I could give you a little spoiler. Pull a Joseph Martinez, and then on the field, do like the crew cut with the bright pink, and then you sometimes Joseph does that. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true.
You'd psych him out.
Actually, it's been pretty funny too, though, because like against Columbus, when we were in Columbus, like all the fans were calling me Ric Flair. so they were doing like the woo. Like every time I touched the ball, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Wow.
I love it.
Or they
you
could
rock
call you
it.
Jossie Zardes if they wanted to be nice,
Yes,
but they obviously
yes.
wanted to call you Ric Flair. True story. I've seen Ric Flair in a bar a couple times in Atlanta, and you look way better.
Thanks. I also have gotten some Joe Dirt remarks when I had
Yep,
the mullet.
I can see that.
And I didn't even know who Joe Dirt was. I was like, "Why are they calling me this?" Like,
You had to Google it. You're like,
Yeah.
what is this? David Spade's like, thank you very much. No, it's amazing, John. We love your style on the field, off the field. It has been so much fun to watch you this season. And listen, I know, Jill, close your ears now, but man, I would love nothing more than to see you guys in the postseason.
oh yeah.
Best of luck.
You can lose to
John.
Atlanta win on Decision Day. I'll see you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on. This has been really fun.
Thank you.
Here for this. Well, this one, we're just going to condense it because we always enjoy, and we are always here for MLS players just going full out on Halloween, which was a few days ago. And we saw some really incredible efforts in the costume department this year. I mean, I feel like every year these guys bring it, but like 2021, man, I don't know, maybe it was because 2020 was such a wash.
The people
Everyone just really went for it. So in this edition of Here for This, we are going to kind of break down our favorites, the ones that stood out, basically. And there were a ton. This was hard. This was a hard one to narrow down. So I'll start us off here. The New England Revolution, there's just so much to celebrate about this team this year in 2021. But my goodness, did they deliver on Halloween? The entire team showed up to training. Just the costume, it was just like a fashion show. It was incredible. But
Was Bruce dressed up?
I don't think Bruce was dressed up, sadly, which would have just been, I mean, it would have been a whole segment about Bruce Arena dressing up for Halloween. But Brad Knighton, okay, he's one of the goalkeepers on the New England Revolution, backs up Matt Turner. He showed up as Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And it is, he just nailed it. He literally nailed it, and I could not be more here for it. I applaud you.
Yeah.
I applaud you. I know the little short robe, the legs hanging. I mean, he had the hat, the cigar.
Definitely 40 degrees and raining too in New England.
Well done. Well done, you. All right, also standing out in the costume department, RSL, another team that brought it. The entire team just looked phenomenal, but there were 3 guys in particular who just, mwah.
How many winners do you have?
This is hard. There were so many.
You can't help yourself.
I know. I literally can't. I'm just so giddy. So Justin Glad, Aaron Herrera, and Andrew Brody all dressed up as the average Joes from Dodgeball. And I was like, brills, absolutely brills. It's perfect. It's so much fun. Another great movie. I just loved it so much. And then rounding out my list. Okay, one of my beefs about this year and Halloween costumes, like everybody and their mother was Ted Lasso. Everybody. I know. And I was like, and I love Ted Lasso. We love Ted Lasso so much. But I was like, oh God, there was just so many. But then I saw a costume that I was like, well, this is it. This is the best Ted Lasso you are going to see. Alex Morgan dressed her daughter, Charlie, up as Ted Lasso, as like a little baby Ted Lasso. And she was Keeley. And then Servando Carrasco, her husband, was Roy Kent. And they just looked fantastic. But little Charlie as Ted Lasso, they had the little mustache painted on. It was just too much. I died.
You do to babies, and it's like,
I know,
cute. But to your point about Ted Lasso, so I was watching, which game was that? I was watching World Series Game 3 in an Irish pub in Midtown Atlanta, and a Ted Lasso and a Keeley walked in, and this was my first sighting of Ted Lasso's Halloween, and I took a picture, and I was going to send it to you, but then as the night went on, I saw like 7,000.
It was like everywhere. I know. So I was like, man, there's just an abundance of Ted Lassos. And I get it. It's a fun costume. It's pretty easy to put together. But big props to Alex Morgan and Servando and little Charlie. You crushed it. What do you got, Jill?
This is not in my rundown, but one thing that never gets old to me is seeing little kids as grandmas with cultures. I saw a lot of those, and they don't get old. They're all really good.
Somebody on... Was it RSL or no? It was Philadelphia Union. I think it was Casper Shabilko, dressed his little son or daughter up with the walker. They were he and his wife were like old people, and then they had their little baby in the walker. It was adorable.
So cute. I just want to shout out really Susanna, the Portland Timbers, who had a costume contest. And when I followed up on who the winner was, they told me that no official winner, but that I can actually decide. So I'm going to shout out George Fokive, also just a nun. He went as a nun with a great body. I'll put it that way. As soon as I saw this reel, I was just like, who is the nun with the great bod? Wins Halloween. Don't care. Shout out to George. And then a close runner-up is a guy who's such a kid at heart is Jeff Attinella, also of the Portland Timbers.
A friend of the call-up, P.S.
A friend of the call-up, because he just dressed as the always horrid, cringe, buzzed Tom Brady after the World Cup boat celebration, which really ticked me off for a number of reasons. I talked about it in that episode.
The Super Bowl celebration.
What did I say?
World Cup. It's okay.
Oh,
but Tom Brady could probably win a World Cup.
The World Cup.
I knew what you meant.
I swear I'm a soccer reporter.
I knew what you meant.
Also, full disclosure, I have been on a 4-day bender of Dayquil and NyQuil, and that's because Atlanta United decided to open the roof on Saturday night. Believe it or not, Suzanne, I am such a spoiled, having done years of sideline.
Oh, yeah.
When you're doing sideline, you monitor the weather.
Oh, yeah.
You look up like, all right, raincoat. What kind of socks am I wearing?
100.
Well, I am a spoiled Atlanta United sideline reporter, and I am in temperature-controlled Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But obviously, due to COVID, whenever they can, they want to be an open-air stadium.
Sure.
And hey, the rain and 50 degrees did not stop them on Saturday night. It felt like, I said to Gonzalo Pineda, I'm like, it's feeling kind of like Seattle in here, like misty, cold. But my rookie butt was in a sleeveless little dress just running around. And,
I feel like they should have given you a heads up. They should have given you a heads up.
In fairness, they did tell me the roof would be open, but I am so spoiled that the roof open in Atlanta literally sometimes means like a brisk breeze. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rain bomb came from the west and poured down on the East Coast. And I'm a little run down. I'm a little sick. So anything stupid I said today, I'm just prefacing it with that. Listen, it's the roof's fault.
You do what you got to do to survive. My goodness. Listen, I appreciate you plowing through the call up today.
And I just want to shout out Tom Brady again for winning a World Cup. What is on tap? We are just 5 days away from Decision Day, and as of today, 7 spots are still open in both conferences, 3 in the East and 4 in the Wild Wild West. LAFC taking on Vancouver tonight. That's right, you got Tuesday MLS action, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN Plus and TSN, and a full slate of games on Wednesday, including that Red Bulls Atlanta United game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN Plus and DAZN.
I love it. And of course, guys, the regular season wraps up this coming Sunday, November 7th. Full slate of action starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, including Nashville versus the Red Bulls on ESPN and DAZN. And then the Western Conference wraps at 6 p.m. Eastern. Galaxy against Minnesota on FS1, Fox Deportes, and DAZN. I'm going to be at that game on Decision Day. Chill. In person.
Well, I'll raise you one. I'm going to be covering Atlanta United taking on Cincinnati.
There you go. There you go.
So, as you would say, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Boom.
And as a reminder, on that Decision Day Live, second screen watch-along show is going to be debuting for Major League Soccer, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all MLS platforms. It's an interactive watch-along featuring the MLS crew alongside a number of special guests, VIPs popping in and out. I'm scared. I'm also super pumped. So you don't want to miss it, people. So we will see you after Decision Day.
Oh my gosh. It's happening, people. The postseason is almost here. Jill and I are ready. You better be ready. We love y'all.
What's up, everybody? It is Susanna Collins and Jillian Sakovitz, co-hosts of The Call Up. And if you want more Call Up action, hit like and subscribe right here on YouTube, right there.
And also make sure that you download every episode of The Call Up every single Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time or anywhere that you get your podcasts. And while you're here, why not check out some of these other videos as well?